Good morning. Welcome to the Community Corner on KWHI, AM 1280 for 101.7. Every Tuesday morning discussing things happening around Brenham in Washington County. Just things for you to learn about, know about, to enjoy what is happening. And today, we're discussing something going on. Right there. You can look at the window here, see it right in the corner. It is the Brenham Heritage Museum. With us, the interim executive director for the Brenham Heritage Museum is Sierra Harris, and good morning to you.
Good morning.
And thanks for joining us today. And so we're just talking a little bit. You've been in with the museum for a few years now?
Correct. About 2.5 years.
And you just kind of started out. You're like, here's the job at the museum. I'll take it. And you kind of just worked your way into this.
I guess you could say that.
So the museum's been around, but has gone through a big change over the last couple of years. Got shut down for a little bit and kind of reworked things. And you guys have big stuff going on there.
Oh, yes, for sure. For those of you who have not visited the museum or don't know the history of the building is actually in the original post office building of Brenham from 1916. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. It's a very important building. And it was turned into a museum in 1991, functioned as a museum until 2016 when record rainfall got in the basement, and then the museum had to be closed. However, major renovations happened, and then the museum formally reopened in the fall of 2022. And ever since its grand reopening, we've been steadily adding state-of-the-art interactive exhibits that are incredibly engaging, and they are just as nice as exhibits you'll see in Houston, at any of the major museums, or in Austin. So we're super proud of what we're doing, and I'm happy to talk more about any upcoming events we're having.
Yeah, so, you guys have it going on right now. It's been going on since the beginning of December. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a couple more weeks. You have is kind of a vintage toy exhibit you guys have.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so the vintage toy exhibit's been up for December and then is going to be on display in our rotating exhibit gallery until the end of January 24th. And in it, we're showcasing historic toys from Washington County, just adding a festive touch to this time of year. Sometimes with the holidays in December, everyone's so busy shopping, they don't get really a lot of time to appreciate the season, the holidays. So we're giving them a little extra time to appreciate Christmas, and we're really proud of that as well. It's on display again till the end of January, and we hope everyone comes by and comes to see it.
And so what kind of things do people, what kind of toys are you exhibiting in this exhibit?
Right. So we have a vintage little train, the one that you would see around a Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. It's electrically operated where you have to turn a dial. It is really nice to see that go around a dollhouse that we have. And in the dollhouse, you can see little tiny details of chairs and a little baby Christmas tree. And then you can also see vintage toys like Popeye and other electrical items. We have paper dolls that kids can play with, wood blocks. And on the walls, we have panels showcasing the history of famous toys. And one of the interesting facts that I learned was that the yo-yo is over 4,000 years old. Came from China, ancient China. So that's one of the things that people may have not known that they can learn about.
You didn't invent it in the 1950s?
No. Right.
Oh, neat. And so that's just one of the things. Again, you mentioned the rotating exhibits. You guys are always changing things out. What about the permanent exhibits? What kind of people can always go see and check out when they're there?
Sure. So we have several permanent exhibits showcasing agriculture, transportation, photography in Washington County. They can come look at our newly installed timeline section, which showcases the history of Texas from the earliest days of indigenous Texans, the Native Americans, all the way up through the Civil War. And we're continuing to expand our collections on the opposite wall to go towards World War II. And that's what we're actively working to build. I've seen so much change in the museum in just the last few months even. So I expect more exhibits to go in even this month, next month, and until the end of the year, when our main floor is going to be just amazing. Mm-hmm. So I would really encourage people to come out and see that. Some of the items on display are old guns, swords, letters from Sam Houston's wife. I mean, very interesting things.
And then, of course, I know one of the big things you guys are working on now, because the whole community is kind of coming together, is the sports exhibit. People love their sports
Oh yes,
around
sports.
here, and that's coming together. And you guys are working on that as well.
Yes. Now our sports exhibit is going to be our largest exhibit yet. It is going to take up most of our bottom floor, the basement area, and it's going to include various sports from Pickard High, from the Brenham High School, Blinn College, championships, just everything. It's going to be a lot. So we are actively soliciting sponsorships, naming rights for these sections because it is going to be our most expensive exhibit yet. So far, we've been very successful. I would say roughly we've raised between 50 and 60 grand, but we're still not to our goal. It's going to be well over 200 to build. But we are still going out in the community and asking sponsors, would you like your names put on these exhibits? And if you're interested in naming rights, feel free to reach out to the museum and we'll happily convey that information to you.
Yeah, we have that information here in a little bit. But what about just items? Are you guys still searching for items from any of the sporting stuff, or just anything that people think might be historically interesting to the Brenham community?
Yes, so we are still looking for sports related items. The museum is primarily interested in sports related items from Brenham and Washington County. I know people have got, sports items, but they may not be from the county. We pretty much want to stay within that scope. Some items that we're really looking for tend to be from now schools that are now not in existence, like Pickard High. So we're very interested in that, or any sports memorabilia from famous athletes from Brenham and Washington County. If anybody has some connections or they have something like that that they want to see put on display to the public, that would be excellent. So yes, we are still seeking collections items.
Okay, and people just call you guys, hey, I've got this. Or
they
bring
can
it
call,
by,
they can stop by, they can email. All of that's on our website, BrenhamHeritageMuseum.org.
Okay. And what about people just want to just go check this stuff out? When you guys open, and how people come do that?
Yes, so the museum is open at 105 South Market Street from Wednesday to Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sometimes we have special hours, but those are the regular hours. They can come in. We have an admission fee. It's fairly low, $10 for an adult, $5 for a child. But if you become a member, you can get free admission year round, and that's also on our website.
Okay. And then if people have anything, else that they like, oh, this would be a great idea if they want to, do you guys have people that just come out and just help you guys anyway?
Ideas for events and such.
Or ideas for here's an exhibit we could do.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We definitely appreciate feedback. In fact, I listen very closely when people give us feedback for guest speakers. For instance, Paul Spellman, who is a respected historian, recently came to the museum a couple of times to give lectures, and that was prompted by one of our volunteers suggesting, hey, it would be cool to have Paul Spellman come speak. He wrote a book about the old 300. So I'm always listening to input, advice from the community. I really want this to be a community museum, and for our events and exhibits to really reflect that.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that, what about volunteers and docents? You need people like that there?
We could use some docents. The docent position is just welcoming people into the museum, greeting them. Our primary need of docents is on Friday and Saturday because those are our busiest days. During busier months, such as March with spring break, or really just bluebonnet season in general, we see a lot of large groups come in from Houston, and they definitely appreciate that more in-depth greeting. So that's a good time. If you're interested in that, we have a volunteer page on our website that you can inquire about.
Okay. And so when it comes down to all this, really and truly, people just need to talk to you guys about anything. How do they get a hold of you? And what do they do for any of this stuff?
Yeah, just phone, email. You can come to the museum and leave a message or come to our office, 310 East Main Street. We keep the doors locked, but you can knock.
Somebody usually be there during the day, probably.
Yes, yeah, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday at the office itself. But or you could just stop at the museum. The museum's open during open hours, and you can just leave a message with the gallery attendant, and I'll get a hold of it.
Okay. And again, so we've got this one exhibit going on right now, the the not vintage toy
Right.
exhibit. And what's going to be the next rotating one? You guys coming after the toys?
We are actively working on that. I will say that when it comes to March, however, I'm planning on putting up a Washington on the Brazos exhibit, since Washington on the Brazos recently reopened, but we also want to showcase the history of Washington on the Brazos more locally in Brenham for people who want even more information about Washington on the Brazos. This is a very historic county, and we're so proud to be in it, to be representing the history here.
Okay. All right. Anything else that you want to mention? We'll have you here this morning. Anything else that we didn't cover?
No, I just think you should definitely come out to the museum, see what we have. You'll be amazed. We frequently get visitors from around the world, and they just say, wow, I cannot imagine how incredible the exhibits are in such a small town. It's like nothing else. So please come out.
Visit the museum right here in downtown Brenham. A little chunk of your own little history is right there. You probably never even think about it. But,
right.
It's there to go visit. Well, Sierra, appreciate you coming in.
Thank
and,
you.
Talking with us today. And hopefully you guys just have a huge outpouring of support.
Oh, well, I appreciate
for
that.
your biggest coming up. So thank you very much. And again, what's your website again and phone number?
Our website is www.brenhamheritagemuseum.org. And our phone number is 979-830-8445.
All right. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. The Brenham Heritage Museum again. Go visit. They got some great things there, and they're expanding all the time, the revamped museum. We're going to take a break. We're come back here at 9:30. Again, about 13 minutes away. 9:30, we'll have the VFW Sound Off coming up with Ben Seeker on KWHI AM 1280 for 101.7.